Good morning, it's November the 28th. It's snowing and a little bit colder and windy. So yeah, one of those kinds of days. This may be fairly short. I have to be back for 10:30 for a meeting, a Zoom meeting, and I have to stop at the grocery store on my way back. So I'm going to cut this a little shorter, but we'll at least start out along the creek as normal. And then I'll walk down 13th a bit to get to the grocery store. Might only be about a half-hour walk. We'll see. So yes, yesterday it was all melting and had turned quite brown in spots, and now today the snow is back. And still coming down, which is why I haven't bothered to shovel my sidewalk yet. I'll have to be careful because I have no idea what the footing is underneath the snow here, so I have to watch out for that. Back into my parka. Comes our first dog and owner, presumably. It's looking quite Christmassy, though. Morning.
Morning.
Yeah, it's going to be slippery under the snow, so I have to be careful about that. I'll go up here to the creek as normal. And I'll just judge my time. I only have an hour to get back. If I do a longer walk, I can't do a longer walk and make it back in that time, not and stop at the grocery store too. And I have to stop at the grocery store. I don't have any lunch. We didn't go shopping over the weekend because my wife was in Toronto and just got back last night. This morning, because the plane was late. Should have been in about 11:20. Got in at 10 after midnight. Last night I was at rehearsal with Wascana Voices, which has a concert coming up on December 11th, which I hope, if you're around, you might want to take in at Christ Lutheran Church, 7 p.m. No admission charge. Pay what you can at the door. We actually had 2 rehearsals over the weekend. We had an extra one on Saturday. Now all we have left is our dress rehearsal next Sunday, and then the concert, which I find a little worrisome myself, because it's a whole week between the dress rehearsal and the performance. That's not a time to forget things. So I'll have to make sure I do some work on some of that. I missed some rehearsals, and there's a couple of pieces where one's in Spanish and one's in Russian, and that goes by fast when you're essentially sight reading. Anyway, I will take care of it, polish it up. This week on December 1st is the Regina Musical Theatre Sapphire anniversary concert, which I'll be singing in as well. And I'll be sitting at the table with the Lieutenant Governor of Saskatchewan, Russ Marasti, at the event, which will be nice as well. I've met him a couple of times. I've been involved with the organization now for, well, it's the 45th anniversary, but I've been involved for 33 of those 45 years, I think. If I've done the math right. Close, anyway. Maybe 34, actually. Up onto the embankment, or the dike, or whatever you want to call it. That tree is, I don't remember it being that low in the, I think it's fallen over. now blowing the snow across the embankment up here. This is another reason to keep this short. It's not a very nice day for walking, to say the least. See, the wind is blowing quite a bit. We were supposed to get, I don't know, at least 5 centimeters of snow, maybe 10. No, is it 10? No, more like 4 to 8, I guess. That's what I saw. Temperature-wise, it's, I think, -6, but it's getting colder as the week goes on. And there'll be some really cold days coming up, it looks like. Not record cold, but -20, kind of cold. Which is -4 Fahrenheit, if you're still a Fahrenheit user. Not judging you. As you can tell, nobody's watching me, so live. So you may be watching the recording if you're watching this. I did forget to turn off the Wi-Fi on the phone as I was leaving, which means there would have been a blip in the live stream almost right off the bat as it disconnected and then found the cell phone network. Hopefully I didn't lose a feed at that point. It shows 3 feeds, so I don't think so. There's one showing on YouTube. Okay, looking east. Frozen Creek, looking west. Little bare ice down there, not B-E-A-R, but B-I-R-E. Now we'll be walking into the wind. Also, I have one, and I intended to put it on, but I forgot. I'm not sure if it's staying on. Also, I know my mic is pointing slightly to the center because of the way that it attaches, so I hope it sounds okay. If not, you can just enjoy the lovely weather with me here. Listen to the wind blow. Which is actually a song cue. Sarah McLachlan. Listen to the wind blow from across the Great Divide. Which is a stalker song. I'm going to buy a Christmas tree tomorrow. It's always nice to have fresh snow and colder temperatures when you buy a Christmas tree. Somehow it just makes it more Christmassy. We'll have them delivered if at all possible, as they normally do, but it depends on their staffing. Last year we ended up taking a truck out there because it was going to be 2 weeks and that would have put us too close to Christmas for our taste. If it's going to be like that again, we may do the same thing this year. We don't have a truck, so we had to borrow it from somebody. Meanwhile, on the work front, this week my focus, aside from the usual publishing tasks, is going to be getting some proposals ready for some books I'd like to write, see if I can get publishers to bite, including a sequel to The Tangled Stars, which is my most recent novel from Daw Books, my 12th for Daw. I have another proposal, fiction proposal I want to polish up and see what my agent thinks of it. And have a nonfiction book that I have a grant to write, so I have to write that one. But I also have a publisher interested. I got to get started writing it, but I need a sample chapter anyway for the publisher, so that all works out. I don't know if I'll get that all done this week, but that's what I'm going to be working on. I think the nonfiction book will, I don't know, it's a sort of equal importance, it seems like, which is a problem for prioritizing. I'm seeing a lot of walkers besides me this morning. What am I doing on time? Oh, okay. Maybe I'll do I will cross over and go into the park on the other side, but abbreviate it over there. Stretch it out a little bit more than I was thinking. Not as much as I normally do. This will be a slightly different path if I do that, which is always fun. I'm wearing my heavier winter gloves. When I put them on, they still had hot shots in them from a Grey Cup. Finger warmers. Agribition is here now, I think. Last year I walked through it, but I didn't get a chance, which is too bad because it was fun. Cows and everything. To check the time, is it weekend or is it on right now? It'll be over by this weekend. Warmer than this, at least because it's only doors. Agribition is one of those things that you kind of judge year by year. Lots of years, there's no snow. We don't always get snow this early, or not to stay. This year, however, winter has come with a vengeance. And despite our little melting period over the last 2 or 3 days, it's back. As you can see, the fact that my walk is essentially black and white. I suppose I could stream in black and white. Not sure what the point of that would be. Be artistic, I guess. Presumably, since the phone will shoot in black and white, you can set it up to shoot in black and white, I think. Maybe not. Maybe it has to be a post-production thing. I never thought about it until now. So I don't know. A lot of baseball going on. Excuse me, there's horseshoes over here. Not happening either. Yeah, I'll at least go up and cross over the footbridge, and then I'll start wending my way back. Make it a little longer, and yet still give me time to stop at the grocery store and get home before my 10:30 Zoom. We started the day a little late because of that plane not coming in until after midnight last night. So I'm 45 minutes past when I would normally be out walking on a Monday, at least. Like an hour. Alright, well, we'll cross the footbridge. I have to cross some bridge. And we will then turn the corner and head back, go up to 13th and walk down there to Safeway, where I will stop today's walk. Nobody said hello this morning. Just a little unusual. It is Monday. Everybody's feeling antisocial. Mondays do that to you. Monday, Monday, can't trust that day. Ran out of things to say. So just enjoy the walk and the sound of the wind, I guess. Oh, somebody said hello. Hello. Arcade Flower Shop. Hello. Not a lot of flowers around here at the moment. Well, maybe in shops, but not out here. Oop. And hello from Morocco. Hello. Trying to read your name. Boop. Bobakur, something like that. My eyes aren't good. There's not a lot of contrast. I don't know how you pronounce it anyway, but other than that, that was probably accurate. Is there an A at the end? Make a Bobakur. Bobakur. Probably close. Yes. Oh, good. Yay, yay me. All right, here's our footbridge. Back over the creek. Check my time again. Yeah, I'd better keep it fairly short, so I will angle differently than I normally do. And start heading back towards Safeway, where I'll be turning this off. Probably 20 minutes back to there. 15 at least. Okay, another look at the creek. Looking east. It's -6 Celsius, so not that cold. It's going to be colder. This week it's going to be colder. Later in the week, next week, there'll be days when it doesn't break 0 Fahrenheit. It looks like with the lows in the like -20 range, 25 range. Which is a little cold for this time of year, but not cold for Saskatchewan in general. Over the course of a winter, it's just kind of normal winter weather. Bit of wind today, so there's a wind chill factor. For sure. See, normally I would go on along that way, but because I have to get back for this meeting, I will now go up this path instead. Drift right there. I'm the first one through it. Not a lot of playground action going on. Okay, from here we'll walk up to 13th, and then it's just a few blocks down east to Safeway, our grocery store we shop at, where I will cut this off so I can go in and buy some bread and lunch meat, so I have something for lunch today. Civic Arts Center. I'm walking by it today. There's also a giant beaver over there looming in the snow. 67. Just walk on the street. So we get over to another sidewalk over here. Warm because of the exercise. Now we will carry on across 15th up here. It's not a path I normally follow, so it'll be sort of new. Also, it's a four-way stop, so those are a good place to cross. Yeah, as a pedestrian. Assuming, of course, that the cars obey the stop sign, which is not always a safe bet. That was 15th, if you're following along on Google Maps, which you probably aren't. I actually take my hood down, especially once I'm not walking into the wind anymore, because my head's getting very warm. Morning. Playground zone, I have to slow down to 30 kilometers an hour. Oh, that's the end of it. Oh well, I don't think I was speeding. Might as well just walk up this all the way to 13th, and then I'll turn east to go down to the grocery store. This will take us by Connaught School in another 2 blocks, which used to be the oldest school in the neighborhood. Now it's the newest because they tore down the old one. I think I will lose my hood. Just to cool off a little. And I'll have my back to the wind once I turn to the east. Anyway. Now this is not a 4-way stop. But there's nobody coming, so it's okay. Nobody that way. Nobody that way. Thank you. This will be 13th up here. So we will turn right, get that wind behind us instead of in our face. Not yours, but mine. I think it's snowing harder than when I first set out. Oof, little ice there. All right, here's 13th. We will turn right, east. It's another, 4 or 5 blocks, I guess, to the grocery store. And a 3-block walk home, but I won't live stream that. I'll stop at the grocery store. Alrighty. The wind is kind of now off my left side. Must be blowing pretty much from the northwest, a little to the northwest maybe. Because this is a cold front coming in, bringing the snow and then the much colder temperatures behind it. It already looks like it didn't melt over the last 2 days. It was looking kind of springy, and that's gone. Of course, it is still autumn. Winter doesn't start for another 3 weeks and a bit. 3.5 weeks. Here's Connaught School, brand new school. The original one was built in 1914 and it was just in bad shape. So they tore it down and built this new one. And of course, people who remembered the old one hated to see it torn down, and there were protests and stuff. But as I always remind myself, the kids would much rather have this brand spanking new school than the old one. That said, I hope they don't tear down Davin School, where my daughter went. It was built in 26, so it's quite a bit newer, and it had lots of work done on it to keep it in shape. It says the name of the school, if you can read it, in the snow, École Connaught Community School. École, of course, is French for school. Works out well that in French you put it first, and in English you put school afterwards. So École Connaught School works, although I don't know why they don't make community. Here there's a crosswalk. There's a coffee shop over there called the Happy High. We have a lot of marijuana shops in Canada since they legalized it, and Happy High sure sounds like it should be one, but it's just a coffee shop. That's the Connaught branch of the Regina Public Library there, built in the 30s. I've done a number of programs in there over the years, even a wine tasting with my wife once. We've posted wine tastings from time to time. Happy to do one for you if you contact me. You know, assuming it's here, or assuming you want to fly us somewhere. Since we're not exactly, what's the date on it? Yeah, 1930 exactly. Connaught Library there. Slate Fine Art Gallery over there. My saddest place to me is this chicken takeout joint, which used to be one of our favorite higher end restaurants along here, the Creek and Cathedral Bistro. I don't know if it was the pandemic that did it in, or if it was already going down. The pandemic finished it, but anyway, very sorry to see it go. Whew, it's going to be close, but I think I'll make it back just in time for my Zoom meeting. Greystone Manor here. I think that's what they called the apartment building my parents lived in for a long time in Weyburn. My mother lived there for many years after my father died. I think it was called Greystone. Don't know if there's a connection otherwise. Lots of older houses along here. Here goes a truck, here comes a bus, headed to Albert Park apparently. We get what used to be a nunnery, get thee to a nunnery, now it's condos. Been in there a few times. Have a really nice chapel that's still left over from its religious origins. At least I assume it's still there. It's been years since I've been inside. Angela Capello. Capello just means Capola just means hat. Cathedral Courts it's called. It still has the cross on top. I once dated a girl who lived there. One date. Not that anything went wrong on the date, it's just, that was it. Coffee shop over there. 13th Avenue Coffee Shop. Then we have the cathedral coming up on our right. Holy Rosary Cathedral, built in 1914, I think. So well over 100 years old now. Look up. Look way up. There's the spires. I like these houses here, this row of houses. They're all similar and colorful. Not all businesses. I think one of them might still be a house, maybe even two of them. Man, I hate this temporary sign in front of the cathedral though. So tacky. Definitely snowing harder. Kenny University Bookstore is over here. They're moving. And on someday, not too far away, there's a publisher's showcase they're doing in their new location. I'll be at that, Chautauqua Press Books. That's the candy and ice cream store over there, Desarts. This is Westminster United Church. Used to be a Presbyterian church when it was built. Not much younger than the cathedral, I would think. I don't know exactly when it was built. Grand building. Really good acoustics, so it's often used for concerts too. Musical things. Does it have a date on it? 1912, so that's actually older than the cathedral, I think, by a couple of years. More businesses on the other side. Over here we have Brandy's Corner Store, which has a post office in it, so I often do postal stuff in there. Then our fish store, Pacific Fresh Fish, next to that. Our Butcher Boy is just down here a little ways. There's also a chocolate shop we frequent sometimes. There's a bakery, but we don't buy much stuff in there. And a restaurant as well. A couple of them. Here we come to Safeway. So I will stop this live stream, I think, right here with a view of Safeway. So thanks for walking with me, either live or watching the replay. And yeah, probably back tomorrow with a walk downtown, I would think.